Dylan, what are your thoughts on this one?
I think it was a special teams battle. We lost. They scored on the power play, their power play, pretty easily, and you know what, the first one there is missed assignment by me, lost the face-off, and it's in the back of the net. And you know, I really think the way we played 5-on-5, we had a chance to win that hockey game. The wheels fell off in the third, but you know, we outshot them. I'm not sure on the chances. You know what? We just didn't get it past Vanacek and on 5-on-5, and I think that's the story tonight.
So Dylan, a lot of last several games, a lot of catch-up hockey, a lot of deficits early. How taxing is that, just trying to come from behind all the time?
Yeah, it's obviously with Pittsburgh and Buffalo a little bit. You can't. It's not sustainable. You have to play a full 60 minutes and try and get leads, especially on home ice. That's very important. You get your matchups. It's a environment you're comfortable with. You got to find a way to get a goal. We felt, you know what, if we got one there going into the second or even the third, if we got one, we were going to get a couple, and it just didn't happen. We didn't convert on our chances. And the chances were there.
Dylan, are you guys getting a little frustrated that just not being able to put together a win streak, like a lengthy win streak or anything like that, just to really stay in the race or whatnot?
Yeah, I think so. You know what, I think I will say one thing towards that is there's an urgency in our room that you know hasn't quite been there in the past couple of years, and I give a lot of credit to some of the guys that have come in, some of the younger guys that want more for themselves and their careers, and the playoffs is talked about. We haven't talked about it too much in the past, but the conversation's there. We understand where we're at. I think we're excited getting some of our guys back. You know, Fabs did a great job tonight coming in, which was a you know, pretty incredible thing that happened tonight. And all the guys are you know, really happy for him. So once we get going here with our full lineup, we need to really you know, not give up points like that.
All the talk the last few days about the roster and the lineup and all that, does that weigh on people's minds, you think, or not at this point?
Well, certainly it's something that guys know about. Obviously, it's going on in our locker room. You think about it, yes, whether you're in the lineup or kind of bubble guy, young player, whatever, you know, and there's been some tough decisions made, but you have to show up and you have to play. And the guys we dressed tonight were in the lineup for a reason, and you know, just being close enough isn't good enough right now. We need to you know, start to grab those points.
Bill, I think you took more face-offs tonight than they had seen in a while. Is that obviously a positive indicator how you're feeling?
Yeah, it is. It's nice to be back taking face-offs and you know, just playing center for a long time. You get engaged that way, and I felt tonight it was nice to get back in there and you know, not have my hand affect me too much.
Do you think you guys need to refocus a little bit on winning by keeping the puck out of your net rather than trying to score? Derek has kind of said, you know, that's how you guys will win game. You're not built for scoring.
Yeah, I think it's in our locker room. It's the focus every day. I think I'm in there. I know it's every video session. You know, we do a lot of video, and a lot of it is on defense. So yeah, we have to. I think it starts with you know, in the beginning of the season when we were not allowing many goals against, our penalty kill got off to a great start, and I think that's the story tonight. just once you get and when you take a lot of penalties, you give those guys over there a lot of time to touch the puck and feel good once they get a goal or an assist or something good happens for them. They start to build confidence, and especially on home ice, we don't want that.
Dylan, I want to follow up on a question a little bit earlier. When you have rumor, innuendo, and speculation when healthy guys are coming back and roster moves are going to be made, how does that change your role as captain? Do you have to be take the temperature of the room and maybe calm it down, or do you? Is it just this is the business and we all understand it?
I think you take the temperature of the room. We're all men. We all can handle things, and obviously there's been some difficult things that have happened with a player on our team, and there's not much you can do about it. You have to support and be there for the guys. That's what I really try and do the most, and I think guys have had a good attitude about whatever happens. The young guys have come in and just worked, and I think our practices have been competitive. We push each other, so it is difficult, but it's part of the business of our sport.
Derek, those power play goals in the second period, just once again, something you talked about a lot this season, face-offs, especially in the power play,
Yeah.
that cost you.
The first one, unfortunately, was a missed assignment, just a missed route off a face-off. Obviously, we gave too much ice for a shot right down the middle. And the second one, yeah, a little bit different. Them taking advantage of maybe a little sifter to the net. So, on the whole, an incredibly frustrating night in that poor special teams and great performance by their goalie. Overshadowed a pretty good 5-on-5 game for us, which is frustrating. So, but got to execute on special teams. We did not, and we've had a couple of these games this year where our 5-on-5 game is good, and it's been what happens in special teams. And unfortunately, tonight we lost it.
What do you think of Ville?
Of who?
Of Huso?
It's a tough read. He just, a player being out sick, you don't get reps or touches, and he looked like he wasn't quite in rhythm, and it's just a little unfortunate, maybe a little unlucky, but we've seen his play this year. He probably comes up with a few more of those, but again, it's tough to evaluate a goalie performance when we get shut out through 58 minutes.
Did you get to focus on Fabry much?
I like Fab's game. Yeah, he obviously creates some offense. He set Sonny up all alone in the slot. Unfortunately, we had that really good push in the second where we were grade A, earned our power play, and then they score seconds into their power play. It kind of changed the whole feel of the game, where I really felt we were pushing.
You talked about it this morning, Derek. Are you going to have to win, 5-1, but you're going to have to win games allowing much less?
Yeah, this is a winnable game. It's frustrating because, we're throw out the 7 overtime games of the 16 wins and the 13 losses. There's definitely a little theme in there, and we have to defend where we only give up 8 to 9 to 10 chances against, which we did tonight. But we lost to special teams, and we didn't create any offense. So, yes, that's what it has to look like 5-on-5 defensively, but we need a little more in the other areas, special teams, and we need to finish. Could have been a little harder. As good as he was tonight, we had some zone time and some puck play and some play from the point that we weren't able to get a little traffic on.
Fabry's playing style, how does that change your options?
Well, he drove offense a little bit on his line. He's energy. He made plays. He hunted pucks. He was good tonight. And maybe a little rust. Obviously I didn't like the turnover. The turnover he created for their goal against is something we haven't done all year. And I just think, that's him getting up to speed with this game.
How challenging is it to have to play from behind as much as you guys have had to lately?
Yeah, it's always frustrating. We're not built like that. This one was a little bit different. We emphasized a good start today, and I thought we got it. But unfortunately, we're still out of it 0-0. It's been a really tough read of the last 3 games. I think we've been outscored 7-0 in the first period, but our play was actually pretty good. Even the other night, we get down 2-0. They score a goal from a defended high slot shot and a backhand defended one-on-one that was going wide. So you got to be somewhat careful. What the bottom line is, we come out of those. We haven't scored a first period goal, but tonight felt a little bit different. I liked our first. We didn't give up a lot. We created some offense. Vanchek was probably a difference. So, but yes, it's not comfortable trailing, and they're not a comfortable team to trail because they will get you in transition, which you saw in goals 3 and 4.
Is there anything you can kind of take away of the arc of that New Jersey team, though? I mean, they're a team that was in your guys' situation for a number of years, and it seems to have taken a pretty big step here.
But draft within the top 3 helps, and they've done a good job, but they've built speed and pace around there. You can see you talk about an arc, they're getting to an identity. I mean, that's a pace team. We did a pretty good job of defending tonight, but that's a team that can turn a 50-50 puck in the neutral zone into a 2-on-1 or a D-zone stop from them into a breakaway or 2-on-1. They play with pace, they hunt. They can see they had some established zone time in the first, which we defended very well. But that zone time wears on you. So, of course, we're all trying to get to a certain spot. They've been trying to get there too, and they've taken a step. But they've done it the right way through the draft and some patience, and they're on the way becoming a really good team. And you got to give them credit for the goalie too. That's a good find for them. And I think we had a stat today. Jay Verity did a pre-scout. They're 24th in the league in giving up chances, and they're 4th in the league in goals against. So their kid in net is pushing a lot of why they're good, and that's a big part of the game. I experienced a little 4 years of Andre Vasilevsky. That's a luxury. So, and Villy's given us a lot this year. When we're playing well, a lot of those games we won, Villy's given us that type of goaltending.
Dylan talked about this a little bit, and you have throughout the season too, about how there's really been a strong work ethic and just kind of that never give up attitude in the dressing room. Is that impressed you based on the number of young guys that are?
It has. I mean, you can pick us apart on, not being where, maybe our division is or our conference is, player for player, talent-wise. You can pick us apart, some holes in our game. Tonight's a perfect example, our poor execution on special teams. But it'd be hard to find consistent gaps in our compete and our effort. Tonight was a perfect example. I mean, that was an extremely frustrating game. And that we come out of that second period down 2-0, and our push was in the third there. We had a really great start. And unfortunately, transition goal, all of a sudden we find ourselves 3-0, and then we still pushed. So would like to hold the guys accountable on that and refer back to that going forward. But yeah, there's a credit to the guys. They do compete. Yep, he's pushing, and that's kind of been on his time frame. He's taken a little bit more in practice, and he's asked for a couple more. I think you'll start easing him in, which is good. This is the exact timing of what we expected of him coming around with his upper body injury. So, yeah, we expect him to take some more face-offs.